So welcome to Bryte Dreams, and some of you watching this are like, well, what is Bryte Dreams? You guys are a payment processing company. What does somebody's dreams have to do with payment processing? And that is a great question. So no, we are not getting into a part-time Oprah type environment with Bryte. That's not what we're doing here. But here's what we do like doing. We do like making sure that our employees and the people we work with and our 1099s are motivated to really do their best to bring their A game to the payment space every single day and represent Bryte, to create great experiences and opportunities for our merchants and for our agents. And with that said, I have actually one of our agents with us, that is Elliott Brown out of our Columbia area, Columbia office. And Elliott is, believe it or not, is actually not focused and motivated to be a high-level, merchant-level salesperson for his entire career. He has something else that he wants to do with his life. I know that's hard for some people to believe in the payment industry, but there's a lot of people that are in this industry and they have other things they want to do, and some of them want to become, professional whatever, or this and that, or they have a business on the side that they're developing, and so on and so on and so on. So with that said, what I'd like to do, and I found this out about you, and this is why I wanted to do this production with you, is I would like for you to explain what your actual dream is. Like, why are you in merchants? Why do you work with Bryte?
So I work with Bryte because being in merchant services, it allows me to build a residual income. Before working for Bryte and in merchant services, I actually worked in insurance. Mm-hmm. And with insurance, you're stuck behind a desk all day. You don't really get to be out and see people. I was working in the medical billing side of it, so outside of numbers, that's not really fun, right? And so when I got into merchant services, my long-term goal is to actually be an opera singer. And merchant services has afforded me the opportunity. I've gone as far as Tokyo, Japan. I've gone to Italy and sang throughout various cities. But merchant services paved the way for me to be able to do that, because if I could not be at work, I was able to build a residual income that was able to sustain my bills while I was on tour or out performing somewhere. And so it just gave me the flexibility that I needed, that until music became a full-time thing where I'm on the go every day, that when I'm not on the stage, I can have another stream of income that I enjoy, that gives me a chance to meet different people, which, as you know, you can find a good variety of people in merchant services, but it provided that opportunity to me while still being able to pursue my dreams.
So how has it been so far working with Bryte?
Oh, so far, Bryte has been the best merchant services experience that I've had. Here at Bryte, it really is a family environment. I've worked with some other merchant services providers before, and I really just felt like another number or another employee. Right. But to be in an environment that actually supports the office in Columbia, that we can come here to Jacksonville and get trainings and those type of things, and they don't just look at you as an agent, but as a member of the family, that's a rare find, but a great find.
Yeah, and Columbia, we're excited about being in Columbia because South Carolina is blowing up.
It is.
I mean, we are going to dominate that area, and you're part of that plan, which is exciting. So, so when I heard about you, and I've heard, and we have some employees watching this right now live here, but there are certain employees here, and then agents, and then other W-2s that we have in other places. But when I heard about you and the opera thing, I just honestly, I was like, really? Does he sing opera? And so it's not that I didn't believe it or didn't believe you could do it. It's just that the guy selling merchant services, that it was just tough for me to put those two together. Mm-hmm. So what we're going to do in this production is, you're going to have to prove it, right?
Okay.
So that's what we're going to do. But before we do that, I want you to talk a little bit about how you've evolved in this business at the same time that you have said, okay, here's my goals, here's my real dream, here's what I have. Like, how do you manage those two things to where you don't get maybe over involved in one and then just sort of leave your merchants behind? Because that's a hard thing to navigate sometimes.
It's a very hard thing. So when I first got into merchant services, I actually had no desire to sell. I just started as a personal assistant. And I invited my boss, Stephen, to a performance that I was doing.
Stephen Morris.
Yes, Stephen Morris.
He's a good guy if you know him, most of the time.
Don't tell him I said that, though. But so when I was working for Stephen, we literally were going to the same church. So the only genre that Stephen heard me sing was gospel, because like many singers, I started singing in the church. I've been singing since I was about 4 years old. And my mom always said that I was the child that was just like, I want to sing, I want to sing. So I would start going with my mother to choir rehearsals and singing with the adult choir, and they heard that it was a gifted voice, and so they let me join the choir early. For the youth choir, you had to be about 7 or 8 years old to join, but they let me join at 4. And so when I started working for Stephen and he heard me sing opera for the first time, he said, "Why are you working for me again?" And I said, "Well, I need a job. You know, the stage isn't calling every day, and you know, I'm not able to do that every day." And he said, "I'm going to help you build a residual income." I said, "How? What is that?" I had no idea what that was. I was fresh out of college, so I was used to a steady paycheck that I can get my check on the 1st and the 15th. I don't have to look for it. And so my first account was actually a chiropractor's office. And when I saw my first residual check from that, he said, "Now, yes, it starts out small now, but the more you do this, you can build up more residual. So that way, if you ever walk away from this, as long as they don't cancel or something like that happens, you'll still have that income coming in. So it'll give you the flexibility to pursue your dream while still not being worried about how am I going to pay my bills." Because the pandemic really showed us that the arts industry really is the first to go in a lot of cases, because once the pandemic hit, and you know, with COVID-19, you couldn't go to an opera live, you couldn't go to a Broadway show live, so we had to find something else to do. Thankfully, my something else to do was already there, merchant services, so I never had to worry about how am I going to be able to feed or sustain myself while still doing this.
Wow, that is great. So here's what I'm going to ask Elliott to do next. He's going to, because everybody that's watching this, so hopefully a lot of people will watch this, but there's some, again, employees in here, they know who you are, but that's it, right? And I've heard a little bit about, and I'm going to brag on you a little bit. Okay. So he was involved with the Andrea Bocelli event in Charlotte. Yes. And you actually sang backup there. Yes. With them, which is, there's a video of that, and it's an amazing thing. So before we do this, I hope that anybody who's watching this that has considered maybe getting into the merchant services or getting into a job or something maybe on the side that's a residual income base, you know, look at Elliott here and what he's done, and he's pursuing his dream, yet he has a residual income coming in, and it's really working well for him. And then for those other Bryte employees out there, I know some of you do have aspirations that go beyond doing customer service or doing tech, and I get that, and I want the best for all of our employees. So it really excites me to see one of our employees, like we're that stepping stone or that path for them to become a better person and to pursue their dreams and try to change their world, change the world with their talent gifts. So without further ado, let's go ahead and do a short song for us. Can you do that?
I think I can. It's a little early, but we'll try.
Okay, well, we'll do that.
I'm just going to get some water here.
Let's cue up the music and let's roll with it.
Fredda stanza, guardi le stelle che tremano d'amore e di speranza. Ma il mio mistero è chiuso in me, il nome mio nessun saprà. scioglierò il silenzio che ti fa mia.
Oh man,
Thank you.
that was great, man. That was great.
That's more fun later in the day, but
Yeah.
not bad for early.
So let's get real quick to another reason why you're here. So you have this thing called Road to Varna.
Yes.
And you're going to explain that in just a second. But Bryte is helping you get to Varna, right?
Yes.
Helping you go down that road. So why don't you explain in just a minute or two what Varna is?
So Varna International is a summer music intensive program. And so for young artists, when you are getting into the opera field, it is a summer program where you're basically in school for the summer, but it affords you voice lessons with voice teachers from all over the world. You get vocal coachings, what we call Alexander technique, which is about like your body mapping and all of those things, because our body is our instrument. We don't use any amplification. And so this year they're doing Carmen, and I auditioned for it, and I've actually been given the lead tenor role of Don Jose.
Oh, congratulations.
And thank you. And so I will get to sing that under the baton of Maestro Gregory Bacalter, who is actually one of the conductors at the Metropolitan Opera House in New York City. And I will also get to sing for different management companies who manage young artists as opera singers.
So again, that's a huge stepping stone to you accomplishing, reaching that goal, right? Because what you want to do, you want to be in theater, you want to be in this, and you want that to be your full-time
Absolutely.
job. But in the meantime, you have Bryte on the side, so we're sort of that side chick. We get it, right? And that's okay, because that's what he was singing about in Italian, by the way, was by your side chick. That's what the song is about, I think. But
Of sorts.
But that's okay. That's okay. We'll take it. We'll take what we can get. So what Bryte has decided to do is obviously you came in and we're doing this production, and we hope that this inspires other people in the business to not give up. Bust it, work hard, get out there every day, pull those doors, talk to people. Because here's the thing, if all you're looking at is it's just a way to, quote, pay bills, then there's some motivation there, obviously. However, the bottom line is everybody has a reason they're showing up to work every day. Everybody has a reason they're getting out of bed and doing this. And some people, it's a little bit deeper, more complicated than other, and it doesn't, not that one is better than the other. But we're excited to be part of you accomplishing and reaching your goals and taking another step towards your dreams. So with that said, Bryte is actually sponsoring, like I told you, part of the expenses, which is exciting.
Yes,
so
and I'm most appreciative.
We're helping you get down that road. And then the other thing is in the meantime, you've got merchants that we're still servicing. I know some of those merchants. They're great merchants. And some of them maybe not so great sometimes.
But we love them
but
anyway.
it's all right. We love them anyways, right? That's why we got all these guys in tech out here. So with that said, let's go ahead and wrap things up with one more song. And I am not familiar with this at all. What is this that you're going to sing?
So this one, I would say, is still in that tenor's top 10 list, and it's E luce van le stelle from Tosca, still by Puccini.
Still by Puccini. I'm good with that.
He and I have become good friends over the years.
Good. That's good. Right. So let's hit this last song and then wrap things up.
terra stride all'uscio dell'orto e un passo sfiorava l'arena. Entrava il fragrante mi cadea fra le braccia. O dolci bacino languide caresse mentre io fremente le belle forme dai veli svani per sempre il sogno mio d'amore l'ora è fuggita e muoio disperato e muoio disperato e non mai tanto la vita, tanto la vita.
Thank you, guys.
All right, so Elliott, thank you for coming. This is awesome. For those of you in the South Carolina area, this is the guy you want installing your next POS system, right? Because you're gonna sing a song while you're doing it. This is amazing.
I can sing while I plug it in.
Yeah, it's so good. It's so good to see our employees and our reps that they're growing, they're prospering, they're learning more. But this particular event for you is huge. We're glad to be a part of it, and we're glad to share this with other people, you know, our agents and the public in general. So again, thanks for coming. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for everything.
All right. That's it. Bright Dreams.